Hi guys, buenos dias to those in Mexico. I'm coming on today. It's the continuing saga of people in my business and my sister's business. It's just so baffling to me. It's not funny, but I have to make light of it because if I think about it in another way, it can be very troubling because in life, people are different. That's what makes the world go round. You don't have to agree or you don't have to understand what another person is doing, but what you can do is be respectful of their decisions. Just like the saying goes about when you are having a debate with somebody, you may not agree with what they say, but you come away with, I am going to respectfully respect your decision, or I don't know the exact term, I'm not fully awake, but you're going to agree to disagree. Okay. Now, when I brought my sister to Mexico last year, I know a lot of people didn't approve, they didn't like it. Same thing is happening this time, a year later. That's your right. Like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But where we draw the line is when you're not related to me. You're not an official. Well, actually, one of these people is an elected official, which is very troubling because it makes me wonder about the decisions that they make in their position. If they're doing these things, like having people call the facility in Mexico where my sister is, calling from the United States, frantically asking to speak to my sister, a 90-year-old dementia patient. Okay, my sister. People with dementia, they're not clear. They're loose. They're not lucid. 1 minute they can be talking about things that are valid. The next minute they're talking about something that happened 50, 60, 70 years ago, and then 5 minutes later they'll echo the same sentiment. When you call the facility where my sister is, you have no authorization. You're not authorized. It's not like the United States. That's the thing people don't understand. This is Mexico. Things are different here, okay? You need to be respectful of my sister. You need to be respectful of me. You need to be respectful of the facility. You need to be respectful of Mexico because it's not the United States. Get that through your head, okay? You can't do the things in Mexico that you would do in the United States. So when you call and ask to speak to a dementia patient, what does that say about you? And I can see who sent you or who asked you to do it because their logo is right there on the page that the facility copied and pasted me so I could see the message that this person had sent. I can see the P right there. I saw the P, so I know who sent you to do this. It's insanity. What do you have to do with my family, my sister? And who gives you the authorization? How are you qualified to make a decision about my sister's care? You got a funny feeling. You got a funny feeling, so this is how you proceed. You have a funny feeling. You're going to try to wreck all the stability and calm and peace and everything positive about my sister being in Mexico in this facility because of how you feel. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. We could go back to when people started doing holistic healing, when people did not want to necessarily go with what a doctor recommended to them for treatment. They decided, well, hey, I may want to try this alternative therapy or something like that, and not do chemo or radiation, but do some type of vitamin supplement or something like that. A lot of people are not on board with that, and that's fine because it doesn't pertain to them. They can have their opinion about it, but at the end of the day, Each person, individual, has a right to trying whatever they think is maybe a good solution. Why do people have to go to such extremes and want to discount? They want to tear down what somebody has built up. I just don't get it. I just can't get it. I just don't understand. But I'm gonna say again, respectfully, please stay out of my sister's business. My business is her business. Her business is my business. She's fine. Why do you think the United States is the utopia? Why do you think it's the best place to be? Honest to God, I wish I could get all of my family out, but all of my family, they don't want to leave, and that's their right. Okay? You think it's so great there? You know very well how badly things are, especially when my sister was in that facility and she was left 3.5 hours sitting in a wheelchair in a room with nobody in it. Okay? I was so upset. I called you in tears and I said I was going to write a letter, and you said, oh, well, when you write the letter, send it to me and I'll send it to the proper authorities. I really thought that you cared. Okay? Let me just say this. I never heard an acknowledgement, anything about the letter that I sent. So my thought is you never sent it, or whoever you sent it to did not care. Because anytime you have a person of that age, 89 years old, they're in a facility in the United States and they were left in a room for 3.5 hours by themselves, sitting in a wheelchair. Nobody came in to move them. The person who had her, God knows where they were. But that's okay. That's what you want my sister to be a part of. They bring food in there and put it on her tray, but they don't check to see if she's eating it or not. So they just come and remove the tray after maybe an hour or so. She hasn't had any nourishment or anything like that. That's what you want. That's what you want. Please, 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 just go on with your life, please, and stop bugging us over here. We're happy. We're in Mexico. My sister's thriving. She's 90 years old. I don't know how much longer she has. Only God knows that. But she's in a much better place here than she was back in the States. And I'm not saying all of the facilities are like that bad. All I can go is by what she has experienced and what I have witnessed. I am a certified nursing assistant. What are your qualifications in the medical field? Please tell me, okay? Please. I hope everybody has a blessed day on purpose. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.